Hi guys, this is Tom Broussard. Aphasia is an interesting thing. I had my deficits of reading, writing deficits, of which I was unaware, and no one told me what it was. Them turns out to be this thing called rise time. If you haven't heard about rise time, you should check that out, because there's a huge component of what the deficits could be for you, as it was for me. And maybe other people think of it other ways, but they end up thinking that for some reason we just can't hear what it is we were trying to listen to. And it turned out that it has nothing to do with my ears. I could hear everything, but it did turn out that there was a problem being able to process my ability to hear. And it found out because I continued to read and write and speak, and trying to figure all these things out by practicing all my modalities. And I was listening to everything around me. As soon as I could hear her talking, I would realize she's halfway through her sentence. So I started figuring out, okay, as soon as I hear her voice that I can actually perceive, I would say, "What was that?" And that stopped everything. She would start over and I could hear what she had been saying. And after a couple of times, a couple of months of doing that, I realized she was saying something. I was missing the first 2, 3, 4 words of a sentence every time. And it wasn't because I wasn't listening. But there was a lot of noise in the room, even if there's not a whole lot of noise, but there's enough to cause that difference. But as I could see that every time Laura started talking and I was halfway through that sentence, I realized that it was a mechanical problem, that I was not, as I figured out, I was not shifting from passive listening to active listening, such that I could shift quick enough as soon as I heard the first a couple of milliseconds of a speech. It takes a long time to convert, and people with aphasia, it takes a long time. With healthy people, it takes about 10 milliseconds, incredibly short, for them to attend to listen to see other things, hear other things, and quickly get to what they want to say. People with aphasia, because of the sheer issue of having lost X number of cells that have to be regenerated, not the cells, but the dendrites and the synapses, it takes time, sometimes 400 to 500 milliseconds. So basically 10 times more times, 100 times more times than a healthy person, even if it's only half a second. That half a second causes easily the first 2 to 3 words. Well, reading in all of my books, studying all these things, I bought another book and actually have it out that what I had experienced is a deficit. It is very for people with aphasia, and most people still won't even talk to you. Many speech pathologies don't even know about rise time. It's sort of low in the totem pole of our deficits, and as a result, nobody ever tells us that. So we end up with one of these deficits that just drags around with us. We can't hear things. We don't understand why. It is rise time, slow rise time, and it is because it takes time to adjust, to change, to shift from passive to active listening. Listen to my voice here, find out about rise time, and see if a bunch of us don't find out that, some part of our problem in listening in all kinds of angles of that modality, one of them happens to be rise time. Talk to you all later. This is a good week, and I will see you next week. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.